All right. Hello, everybody. Yo, is everything working? Audio and everything? I gotta double check. Okay, we're good. We're good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. A nice Tuesday. Streaming off schedule. That's kind of weird, isn't it? That's on me, guys. I'm sorry. I was trying to stream on Monday, yesterday, but my whole new I guess the groundwork that I laid out for the week as far as like streaming and then somehow cutting that down into like separate like bits of content here and there required a little bit more on my end just to provide contextual stuff when we go into like one of our segments later after the Nintendo Direct. The Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave Direct. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So I guess without further ado, I will get everything set up for that one. I will need to put this on though. I think my hold on. Let me actually like put this in. Audio was whoa. This is a little loud actually. All right, you can stop. For you guys, that was probably minimal, but for me, that was actually kind of loud. So I might have to just lower it just a little bit. But maybe like, well, I have to mute that, and then I will probably mess with this a little bit. Actually, probably 5%? Something like that. All right, we should be a-okay to get going with this. Go and close that. I guess I'll just go ahead and just start the recording right now. Boom. Also, if I get any, like teacher burps happening in the middle of things, don't mind it. We had a pretty big dinner. Guys, we're checking out the Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave Direct happened earlier today. I figured I might as well just watch it live, so I just held back on that one. So, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Before we do that, though, I know it's right here. I just totally forgot. I was gonna do this while we were waiting for the stream to start up. I need my AC buddy. Well, right now he's just a fan because all the cool air will not be blown. It will just be like circulated air existing, as far as I know. Oh, hold on. I was gonna say, like, the reach always this short? It'll work. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got the window cracked open in the back. We should have some AC, but it's not kicking in right now. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that for the entire night. The entire evening of streams here. Alright, so let me just make sure I get this all sorted out here. Alright. Now we're ready. Alright, I have been privy to a bit of information just showing up. I know there's a gun. There's a gun. I know there's a whole new face of characters. I've seen Sedith already. So there's talks about this being possibly taking place in the past instead of like the future of the Three Houses storyline. So we'll see how this plays out. Gonna go ahead and play this in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Hopefully this doesn't blast my ears. Okay, no, we're good. Do you think I would have gotten this a little bit more if I actually played through the other two routes? I only played through Edelgard's. Uh-oh. Also, what did they just say? I missed that.
We need as many as we can recruit.
Even you! All right, let's go. Lock in. 20 minutes worth. But first,
the Dagdan Empire, a land at the peak of prosperity under the rule of the gods. In the capital city of Daxian, bustling markets, ports teeming with trading ships, temples to the gods, and other establishments line the crowded streets. This is also where the heroic games are held in tribute to Dagda, the Empire's first and founding king.
you know what this is giving me metaphor. Metaphor Refantasio, where are you? I still gotta finish that game too.
Will grant one wish to whoever wins the games. Those vying for the prize hold strength, determination,
That's the girl with the gun.
dying convictions they refuse to yield. The story revolves around 4 heroes.
I have listened to the soundtrack as well
Heroic games.
before even watching this. It's great.
Will determine how the narrative unfolds as they fight for glory. Kai is a young boy living in the peaceful village of Ribera. On his 15th birthday, his father is imprisoned beneath Daxian for crimes committed.
I mean, what'd you do, Dad?
In hope of a peaceful life as a family, he sets out with his childhood friends to win the heroic games and save his father.
That's pretty ambitious, actually.
Dietrich, ever in search of a stronger opponent, is attacked by an enormous monster while sailing a stormy sea. Beautiful. He then washes ashore in the foreign land of Dagda. This is where, between battling bandits and beasts, he learns of the heroic games. To slay
It does explain like his outfit and everything.
decides to compete in the heroic games with new allies at his side.
That settles it. Time to hit the road. To Daxian.
I think she might have the best theme, personally.
South, Theodora represents a culture that worships the keeper of death and night, a goddess loathed throughout the lands.
Oh, that's rough.
Swearing to restore the honor of her goddess and defend the faith of the people and the peace of her kingdom. Theodora leads her veteran retainers into battle with the goal of winning the games.
Okay, okay. But the three house motif, though?
A young woman born into prestige and blessed with musical talent.
I like this one too. This theme.
By rage, following her father's murder at the hands of an unknown assailant. Having given everything to seek revenge,
Oh.
she eventually
Oh.
learns of the
Oh.
to participate in the heroic games.
I will kill him.
To bring
Oh.
revenge on the man who murdered her father,
Those are two different portraits.
with supportive companions in tow.
I'm sorry, Theodora, but I won't be letting you take the victory today.
If victory is decided by conviction alone, then I think it shall not be up to you.
This track is also really good too.
But I'm sorry. Failure is not an option for me either. But that's only because I don't have any choice!
Going into each match, you'll choose your party members. And
Okay.
their initial placement on the field. Then let the battle commence. Each unit's movement range is shown in blue. And their attack range in red. Once all of your units have completed
Funny enough, I feel like with all the trailers, they've never talked about like the actual basic gameplay mechanics of Fire Emblem in this one.
fierce
So this is our time.
leader, among other conditions. The four heroes and their allies can use
Oh, Killing Edge. Oh, there we go.
swords are straightforward and easy to wield. Gauntlets make it easier to evade attacks.
Nice.
Spears deal massive damage to cavalry units. Axes have low accuracy but high attack power. Bows strike enemies at a distance and can deal fatal blows to flying units.
I forget if bonus damage was a thing in the previous one, unless it was like super specified.
It can also heal or otherwise support allies in dire situations. There are also swords that call down lightning, gauntlets that look like firearms.
Hell yeah. Let's go. She was like, oh, oh, oh.
Of combat. When you strike within an enemy's range of attack, they might counterattack.
Hmm.
Consider attacking those equipped with close-range weapons from a distance, and get up close and personal against long-range opponents to avoid counterattacks. The terrain can also give you an advantage.
Right. The avoidance stuff.
Adjacent allies can receive buffs.
Oh, nice.
Advantage
Right,
in a
right.
situation to control the battlefield in your favor. Combat arts are attacks unleashed at the expense of weapon durability.
Hmm.
Or attacks with greater power. Longer range. Or other advantageous effects. So use them in decisive moments.
I love that bow art, though.
There are also special moves that consume your soul
From way far away.
power, called blaze arts. Kai releases a burst of otherworldly power from his hand to cast flames in a wide area. After
Not so peaceful now, are we?
ink black cloak can warp him to locations on the battlefield that
Hey.
are easily accessible.
That's kind of crazy.
Theodora uses the power inherited from her ancestors to rend the earth and hurl it at foes.
I like that too.
Lita plays her Vihuela to buff allies.
That's also really cool.
Powerful monster.
Oh.
These special moves can turn the tide of battle, but at the cost of the hero's health points. Additionally,
Uh-oh.
if your allies fall in battle,
I think I need a break.
you can turn back time.
Ah, right. That's been main staple now, nowadays.
Battle, so don't be afraid to rethink your strategy if things don't go as planned. Based on their class, such as Shido, who are skilled with swords.
That's kind of a cool design.
Fight on horseback,
That's also really cool.
bishops who use white magic.
That makes sense.
A unit's abilities can
Jeremiah, hello.
automatically. The weapons they can wield and their range of movement also vary.
Right.
Classes are divided into beginner, special,
Ah, look at the sprites.
tiers. Beginner classes are the foundation.
Stream's going well.
Gladiators excel in handling weapons.
Whoa, that was cool, actually. The parry.
And Orneus riders can cover more ground. There are 5 beginner classes in all. Specialty classes have more specific abilities. Armored knights boast ironclad defense.
That's crazy. Something about him just like, eh.
Can leap obstacles and cover long distances. While charioteers can strike multiple enemies.
Oh yeah, I did see a little bit of this.
There are
That's
only
kinda cool.
to attain. Advanced classes are masters of their skills. Cataphracts have the mobility of horses with the defense of heavily armored units.
Oh, the Great Knights. Gotcha.
Guardians are skilled with both spears and white magic.
Oh, that's sick. Wait a minute.
They possess a combination of strength.
Oh, thank you for the bit. I appreciate that.
Also find
Sorry, I'm just tuning into this. Oh, another bit. Uh-oh.
classes that fight while astride giant beasts.
You defeat me?
Oh my god, Sedith. What are we doing here, Sedith?
Between matches, you'll have time to get ready for what's to come. You'll receive some useful intel
What?
about your next opponent. So
Oh,
use this
huh.
information while exploring Daxian. Or venture
Or?
forth to improve your team's prowess in battle. The time
Okay.
is yours to spend.
So delicious.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. Appreciate that.
Let's look at some of the things you can do in Daxian. The Arena Plaza is where you can receive additional training once per week in the time between matches.
Does that improves? Yeah, his skills. Okay.
New moves to use in battle and be able to wield increasingly stronger weapons.
That's straight up from Xenoblade, I swear to you.
Thursdays, you can watch battles between other participants.
We do have a Discord, yeah. I think you should just type in exclamation point Discord. That link should still be active.
At the shopping arcade, you'll purchase weapons and tools, or enhance your weapons using materials you've collected.
I should set up a Nightbot for that, as far as like automated stuff.
Temple Row is watched over by a bronze statue of the Divine Sovereign and is home to 7 temples. Depending on
7.
which temple you volunteer in, you'll acquire
Hmm.
a blessing to use in battle. Provide effects such as a temporary stat buff,
That does help.
and more. Speak to an exam proctor to take a certification exam. The chance of success depends on who's taking the test and the class they're aiming for. So be sure they have the necessary skills before applying.
I was gonna say, yeah, I remember that being a thing for 3 houses.
To attain the pleasure I seek.
You can also receive quests from townsfolk. Complete them by the given deadline to receive rewards.
Oh man, that's starting to remind me of
Ask for your help.
The Divine Sovereign? Why would someone of your stature be here?
So what are you doing? Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah,
You can also
it's definitely giving me metaphor with the side quests.
Even if they turn you away at first, try giving them gifts
Appreciate it. The spirit.
or invite them to share a meal.
I do remember that
Enough to win them
from Engage. Hell yeah.
At inns, not only can you lodge and eat, but you can let time pass to gain experience and gather materials automatically.
Looking good.
Characters who've grown close may converse and show their support to each other here too.
Oh, and can I get a raise? Then I can to work even harder.
I mean,
Thanks, Kai.
got on her to ask.
Here to say I was pulling for you, but it went the other way around.
As your journey continues, you'll gain access to even more facilities.
Remember this for a long time to come.
This is the Pale Raven's Perch, a spot where a mysterious white bird rests its wings. From here, you can swap to a different hero. Progress is saved for each of the heroes, so playing through all 4 of their stories in parallel
Cool.
is an option.
Cool. I like that. Otherwise, you have to do what 3 houses did. Start from the very beginning or a save point.
Of Daxian, you can explore areas across the continent. Time
Yeah.
passes every time you move, so plan
Oh,
your
oh.
actions carefully.
Every single point you move. Okay.
Visit towns to purchase local wares.
Anything you'd like?
It's definitely making me feel about a certain way about metaphor.
On your adventure. Travel with your allies to improve everyone's abilities in battle.
I mean, granted, 3 houses did the exact same thing as far as like an activity. You rest and you decide what you want to do, and then more time will pass.
When you encounter one, a skirmish will begin.
It's just a little bit more recency bias by like a few years.
Experience points by felling your foes. You'll also find dungeons where you'll collect materials.
Uh-oh, dungeon crawling. We're so back.
Along with other treasures.
Wonder how fruitful that is.
Enemies roaming in a dungeon.
Oh, brother. I was gonna say, where are we?
Will begin. I suppose I must. In clashes, you can perform attack combos with your allies.
That's kind of cool.
Plus, each of the 4 heroes can use abilities that are unique to them. For instance, Dietrich can flush out enemies in hiding, while Theodora can recruit soldiers in towns and send out her assembled troops to gather materials.
I was gonna say, what would Kai do?
Deploy them in battle.
Will not miss this chance.
Need some help?
Make the most of these commands to enhance your power battle.
Bold warriors, draw now upon your strength. Hold fast to the devotion in your beating hearts.
Whoa, wait.
Who stand upon the
She can do all that?
I shall grant whatever wish you may desire. So say I, the divine sovereign. That I vow to you. People of Daxian, hear me now as I declare that the heroic games have begun!
Okay, are we gonna fast forward to the very beginning that they showed? It's like, wait, there's a little bit more to this, you know? And they're kind of at the cover of everything, right? Oh yeah, they're having a they're gonna have a time skip. That's why they're, yeah, I was gonna say, that's why they have statues. Something's off though. It might be like 2 different designs there, but it's like, I don't know. I was gonna say, I have a theory already.
I see that my song has finally reached your ears.
How much time we're at? Not that much left.
Years after the heroic games, Dagda faces its end at the hands of the revived demon god Balor.
Brother, how did we get to this point? What did we do at the heroic games?
Even the 4 heroes who played a significant role in the heroic games have vanished. To control
Vanished, you say?
the situation, the progenitor god, Sophis, calls down a single soul. This is the story's true protagonist. You are given 2 choices. Face the forces of the demon god Balor on your own, with the knowledge that it's no easy task.
Or
Use the time-traveling powers of the goddess Fortuna to change the fates of the 4 heroes. You
hey, relax. Wait.
in the hope of saving Dagda from destruction. Those who join you in the future will strengthen the might of your assembled forces.
Oh, it's an interesting way to
Where your
perceive
story
that.
begins, the end of
Uh-huh.
the world at the hands of the demon god.
Huh.
It's up to you.
Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave launches September 17th.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nintendo Switch 2 system.
I was already kind of vibing with the heroic games and how they laid it out, but then they talked about like this final bit.
Collection, which includes a 150-page art book, 12 character art cards, and more will be available the same day.
I thought about getting the Dagden collection, but I'm not entirely sure. I did already pre-order the base game, so I think I might just stick with that.
Nintendo game music, anytime, anywhere, will be updated with certain tracks from this game, including the
I have listened to them twice.
today.
It's pretty good.
Additionally, the Nintendo Today smart device app, which brings you daily updates from Nintendo, will receive a new Fire Emblem theme beginning tomorrow. The app will also feature new information about Fire Emblem
Uh-oh.
Fortune's Weave leading up to launch. There will also be a new Ask the Developer article, in which developers share their thoughts about working on this game on September 15th.
All right. Cool. All right. We made it to the end. And now that we've sat down with all that we've had to see, let's start talking about it. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go back here to the face game over here. So oh boy. Well, let's be honest first. We had a very good idea of like how Fire Emblem plays, right? It was just always a matter of like the contextual stuff as far as what can we expect from the series latest installment, especially since it's so closely tied to Three Houses. And I think it's taking the approach of Three Houses now that it's like had like, and what's weird is that they've also had like another game in the middle. Granted, it was more of a compilation game in the form of Fire Emblem Engage, more over celebrating the anniversary for Fire Emblem and having a couple of touch-ups. Well, granted, sorry, it's a tangent beyond a tangent. Let me just, I was gonna say, let me actually like focus in real quick about this. So Fortune's Weave is definitely within the timeline of Three Houses. We don't know where it's at, before, after. I know that Three Houses focuses on like a really small portion of like that world, and they almost never even touch upon anything that expands beyond that. Whether they have done that purposely because they want to establish this type of universe, like within the same like area, the continent and everything like that, maybe they would have had this planned out. Hence why here we have Three Houses, and then we would have Fortune's Weave, with the exception of Engage just being made in the middle because of an anniversary compilation, and possibly another way just to refine, I guess, gameplay or try out different ideas that they would then carry over to the next game. There's also that possibility too. But I think they've really taken a lot of the elements from Three Houses and really improved on them. The biggest one that I've noticed is the fact that, yeah, there are like different factions as we've seen in Three Houses, but not only do we add one more, but we're also having them run in parallel to each other as far as your recorded progress with each and every one of them. I think it was a really smart idea to introduce this direct primarily revolving around the heroic games, because that does allow the time that does allow, chronologically speaking, to tell the other part of the story, which was a little bit, it seems a little bit more straightforward in Three Houses with their time skip versus this one, where that one was, hey, a lot of the stuff is happening and we have this huge time skip, which they told you way ahead of time, right? And I guess they do it here too. But that was more, okay, so you're jumping in, you like raise these classmates and everything like that. And then 5 years later, was it 5 years as well there? You wake up and all of a sudden everyone's like grown up. Everyone's stopped wearing uniforms and everything like that. Everyone's at war right now. And you have no idea what's going on or how it all happened, but you have to fix it, you know? And now, the way that they presented it here was, it feels like there wasn't really much of a payoff for those characters to win the heroic games, as far as we understand. Maybe it's different, but everyone's gone. Everyone is just gone at that point. And essentially, Sothis is here to finally try to make an effort to bring Dagnan like back together, try to like stick everything together, glue everything together by sending in one poor soul, if you will, one heroic soul. And what's interesting is that they have coined, or they have, what's the word? The narrator had explicitly said that you had two choices: to either fight, the good fight alone, or to go back in time and then bring in those characters over to your side. And also the way they framed it, the way that they framed it was that you could only really take one with you. I don't think that's exactly the case, but I guess whoever wins the heroic games would be the one that gets carried over. What's interesting is that they've done a really solid job as to having the pre-time skip be just like a whole, the whole monastery gameplay, followed by battle stuff, and then you would be done with all that. And then, nothing crazy happened. Maybe there'd be some like underlying thing that just gets unearthed in the story. Who knows? But then they wouldn't really go too far out there. I think Three Houses did quite a bit of that. And I feel that Claude's was the one that really unearthed something like very mysterious that was very much so not at all talked about in the other ones, not to that extent. But now it's you as the main protagonist, this person clad in white, will go back in time and literally just start just snooping around and just causing us a very quiet scene with any of these characters you're interacting with. My question is, before I forget, if you can do this with every single, main leader, will that have any impact as to like the overarching story? Is it simple as, hey, you choose one at the end of the day and then they win and none of the other parties are involved going forward? Or is it like, how intricate are the paths? If you show up a certain amount of times here and here and here, will that kind of sway them to join you like accumulatively together and then just show up at the final end? Because they do frame it as only one, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But aside from that, I haven't even touched like much of like the gameplay aspect of what they've shown. I mean, if you play through the Fire Emblem games, you pretty much know the rock, paper, scissors mechanics of things. And in this game, it does seem a little less of that and more like, oh, hey, there's advantageous things about certain classes and different weapons. There are certain weapons that have like a super effective like move against certain units. In this case, the cavalries are weak against like spears, and you know how bows are strong against like flying units. So that's still there. And also mages are really good. Magic is really good against armored enemies, that kind of stuff. That hasn't really changed, but they have been playing around with the formula quite a bit. One of the biggest things that I noticed making a comeback, and I believe Three Houses still had this, which was like the weapon durability. That's also a very specific thing which helps with the whole, or really reinforces management outside of battles, which is something I actually really appreciated. Now they also add another thing about this management stuff is by the passage of time and the activities you get to do in between. I think what really alarmed me were the movements on the map. You can just do simple things such as like go in town and just talk to people and then train at the arena and everything like that, but you can also explore outwards to find like loot and stuff like that. So I really like that aspect of it. I thought I was going to say but, or be like contrarian about it, but you know what? They do introduce a little bit more as far as the gameplay, the dungeon crawling aspect. What was funny was that they showed certain skills like from the bows users to let them shoot like from a farther out distance. And if you guys have played through Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, there is post-game stuff, and one of the very good weapons, the bow specifically, has this crazy ability to shoot like 20-25 like tiles beyond, and you kind of, I needed that to fight against the secret boss there. I won't say much about that. Having said that, though, I don't think a lot of people have access to that game if you haven't bought it yet, so here's hoping that they port that, but Shadows of Valentia actually had the dungeon crawling aspect to it, and I thought that was actually really cool because it was a mix between you actually having like third person control of your character and navigating through a dungeon and looting the place, but you also had like small scrimmages against certain enemies. And what happens is that you'll be in the overworld or in the dungeon crawling aspect, and then you'll like attack, or you're on the receiving end, and it creates an advantageous or disadvantaged situation within that really tiny skirmish where it pans out the isometric. You have different characters, and you just do the whole tile movement gameplay versus just out there running and slashing people. And what they're showing here is that it's kind of a hybrid approach there too. I didn't really quite catch everything on that one, but I think that's super compelling, and I really want to learn more about that. So it incentivizes me to actually jump into that and figure it out for myself. There were a lot of characters. To just take a look at. Obviously, the biggest highlight for me was the fact that I saw this cleric nun character holding a side piece, and that's apparently a gauntlet. I was like, yo, I can't wait. I'm going to do my best to recruit her because I think she's the only one who could do that. She might be the only character to hold that like weapon, and even if she isn't, and that's something I could just buy on the side, Nah, I will recruit her for sure. But I am curious about how, the gameplay loop is going to feel for me. I made a couple of comparisons with Metaphor ReFantazio. Recency bias on that one, but it's funny because I haven't even finished that game, but I really, really liked Metaphor. I still want to sit back and or get back to playing that one. It just stuff happened. And the backlog is piling up as we speak. But yeah, no, I think this was a solid add-on to the short breath of information we already knew about this game. We knew it was a Fire Emblem game, and there would be gameplay that mirrors exactly what Fire Emblem has been, with some skills here and there. There was definitely more mysteriousness about characters and whatnot, and this was kind of the place for us to find out about that kind of stuff. So I think with all that, I'm sold. I mean, I already pre-ordered the game because of the whole $10 off on Walmart / Amazon and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. I totally took advantage of that. But I'm already locked in. I've been locked in, but this has like added another lock for me because I love the idea of like what the story is about with like the characters. Well, I mean, that's kind of tough. I think someone had said over on Twitter /X, this is kind of a quick aside, but they had watched the direct again. This was sometime like after my shift was over that I read this. They said that the direct kind of gave you a little bit too much as far as like the afterthoughts of things, the story afterwards, which was pretty much saying that like, hey, in 5 years' time, Dagon's they're toasted, they're done. But I feel like that was kind of important for the overarching story, unless it's one of those things where you as the main protagonist doesn't get involved until like that second half, which was like the 5 years later. I would believe, based on how the direct has been like showcased, that does happen at the very beginning, and that kind of serves as kind of like your premonition, because they like doing that for their intros in like many of their other games. Like Fire Emblem Awakening is like a famous one for me because it does start with like you as Robin, and then Chrom are like we're fighting this together, and it shows you like Chrom's death, and you're like, oh, it's that serious. And they do the same thing, I believe. Yeah, they do the same thing with Fire Emblem Fates, and they've been kind of doing that with all the other Fire Emblems. So that'll probably serve as like the introductory mission slash tutorial. And then that's when Sothis will call you down and say like, oh, hey, this is what's going on. You can either fight alone. That might actually just be the tutorial. And then, or which is the mandatory thing, send you back. And then you're just kind of placed in a certain spot, being able to review all the different character stories and then progress it however you want. So I guess we'll see. I'm down for it though. Super down for it. The music's great so far. The animation looks super solid. Presentation again solid. The premise, I mean, yeah, I'm down with it. It's pretty much just Three Houses 2.0. Three Houses Squared. Sorry, that doesn't quite work like that. But okay, guys, I think that's gonna be it on my like take on Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. So I'm looking forward to it. Alrighty, so we're done with that. I kind of want to use the bathroom. I only had a couple like swigs from like my little tea here. I think I should maybe get everyone set up for whatchamacallits. What was it? What was I gonna do? Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry, I almost forgot what I was even gonna do. We're gonna play Honkai Star Rail. In fact, I want to sit down and actually like have a low key serious conversation about Honkai Star Rail on my end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and boot up the console, boot up the game and everything, and then we can get this underway. Well, you guys are still on the face cam, right? Okay, that works. Kind of like this. I will like the direct. All right. And then I guess I have to change like the game too. I have to do that on both ends here. We're actually not streaming on TikTok today, mainly because it was kind of rough for me to get a recording done. When I was trying to record last time, doing a multi-stream across 3 different platforms, it pretty much made that recording and probably the stream itself like super choppy. So I was like, nah, I can't be doing this. So I have to change the game title here. Star Rail. So okay, you guys should be updated with everything. Should be. And if anything, we do a quick BRB. I just wanted to get to the pause menu here. Okay, there we go. All right. BRB, everybody. Just gonna use the bathroom. Okay, we're back. All right. Hold on. Where's me? That's awkward. Hold on, I should be here too. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait. I forgot to, redeem this real quick. I pretty much just use the HolioLab login every day. Anyway, we're here. I actually wanted to sit down and, talk about, in kind of a somewhat serious matter regarding, you know, kind of where I'm at in the state of the game. But to be honest, I'm kind of nervous about it too, because I was kind of prepping this up yesterday. I was planning on streaming yesterday, and then we would probably tune into Fire Emblem, you know, maybe tomorrow when on a scheduled day of streaming. But as I was writing it down and making notes and everything, yeah, I was making notes. I was like, oh wait, I don't know if I want to. I don't. Gilgamesh wanted to say something real quick. I was like, shut up. Don't you dare. There's no reason why I'm just walking over here. Not really much of a reason per se. Especially since what I want to talk about are the characters themselves on the current banner. I feel like, well, moreover, I feel like I had something I wanted to talk about. I think it was kind of IRL stuff, which hasn't really been a thing though. I don't think so. I think I talked about earlier today where I was planning things out for yesterday, but it just didn't work out. But we were able to do this stream, so it worked out in that case. Okay. In that case, let me get things started here. So okay, so I mean, well, let's talk. Actually, what I wanted to talk about kind of stems from like the beginning of things here. So, guys, I started playing through Honkai Star Rail on the 2nd anniversary, right? So, since then, I mean, you can kind of see it like right there, the Trailblaze level up to 70 finally. It's been like that for a while, but haven't really been openly like talking about it. I've just kind of been through the weeds of just farming relics. That's just been what I've been doing on this game, moreover than even just progressing into the game. It's kind of problematic in that case because I should be playing through the story. I'm on Penny County right now, and I just delved into the dream, so that's kind of where I'm at. Actually, specifically, I'm right where I meet Firefly for the first time, and she was actually the whole reason I finally just like pulled the trigger on like starting up this game, because I looked at this initially and I was like, this is a lot, and I cannot find time to like actually sit down and do all this. And in a sense, I still haven't really been able to find time, but here we are. Anyway, that's not the discussion that we're having. But I have been singing through the game, just progressing however I can progress. Admittedly, following guys, and I mean, I guess that isn't really like a shameful thing, considering that people, much more knowledgeable people, will lay out like the groundwork for you. So it's like, okay, fair enough. Hey, you need to build up this character. Here's what you need. Oh, you want to pull out Saber? Well, here are the teams that you can currently run with Saber. In fact, with this account, it all started with Ron May, right? Wait, hold on. There we go. That's super nice that she had her own like skin. They were like, oh, you know what? Y'all love her. Here's a special outfit just for her. I'm like, that's nice. Thank you. She was the first 5-star that I've gotten just like as just the free redeem at that time. So that's great. And then I was kind of slowly building out like the character roster with her. Obviously with her, that's the only 5-star I had. Like, what was it? Trailblazer, Destruction, like March, Dong Hung, and then it would later just like pan out to like Serval. As you can see, I've like worked with Ting Yun here. Hurta for a little bit, but I was also just all over the place. I mean, you see Bailu, for example, like level 50 and everything like that. I still am very much so not so focused. In fact, I was thinking about building Moe's, but that's on the back burner. A lot of these characters, except for March, except for her and Dong Hong, have been like on the back burner. In fact, the only thing I've done for a lot of these characters is just level them up past 10, just for the sake of getting like a free like warp, even on the standard banner. Oh yeah, there's also Natasha too. Still haven't built like Gallagher yet, and I should. How old was he supposed to be? I think 12 or 5. Because he's actually not real. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, Asta. Yeah, she was one of the free characters. And then later on you'd be able to pull for like a lot of them just through like the standard banner. Like Arlen, for example. Someone would just come in free, like Yukong. But I know that Saber was kind of like a big one for me, as like one I would like devote myself to, like towards pulling. I remember that as I was building up characters, it was her. It was actually really just her, because the Fate Collab was like happening like soonish around that time. I'm trying to remember like the time frame of everything, but I was still kind of building out characters here and there, and now I'm kind of at a point where I'm actually kind of confident with like maybe 2 or 3 teams. A lot of them kind of circling around Sunday and like from Ansatera, like Dong Hung as well. E.T. Dong Hung. That's kind of unfair too, because I remember like with the Fate Collab, Archer was actually free. I mean, if you're tuning in now, then Archer or Gilgamesh is free, so you still have an option there. But I felt like it was pretty unfair for me about this. Well, actually, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself with this. But I know that when I was doing the research for like, and it was light research at the time, for pulling Saber, I was really trying to figure out like, is she good with anybody, like with my current team? Because I don't have like a lot of money, and I'm not trying to put money into this game because I just want to see like how far I can go as a free to play. Now I won't shame anybody who actually does put money into the game, especially if it's just like a reasonable amount here and there and they just want to support the devs, because they do a lot of good work here. But yeah, I pretty much had selected Saber because 1, Archer was free, and 2, Saber was, you know, a notable character that I recognized, that I really like from Fate Stay Night. And I mean, when you put the two together, recognizable, is good in free-to-play teams, then it's like, yeah, let's kind of work with that. Archer though was actually really difficult. Where's Archer? Archer's somewhere here. I just passed him several times over, actually. Yeah, he was actually one character I wasn't even building at all. Like, I knew exactly what his kit was. I could kind of work with a free-to-play team for him, but he ultimately had kind of a premium, which was Sparkle. And that's kind of it, to be honest. It's a little unfair, though, because Archer is kind of difficult as a free-to-play, in my opinion, because he sucks up a lot of skill points based on like how he works. But because of how Sparkle is, she actually supplies more than enough skill points for him, for the entire team, in addition to like crit damage and everything like that. So it was like, yeah, no-brainer. And as the patches kind of went along, you get like reruns of different characters. I would do a little bit of research here and there. Like Sunday was like a really good example of like buffing up like the Saber team, so that's why I got Sunday in the first place. But it turns out that he's just really good, generally speaking. Tribby was another character that I checked into. I didn't know who to pull, and people were saying that like, hey, you should go for Tribby because she does a lot of support. I remember when I started this game out, it was, what was it?
We'll deliver it as fast as we can. Let's go.
erudition characters were like my favorites because of just the nature of the game, having multiple like enemies on screen at once. So like, let's just hit them all. That would have to be my favorite character. But then it slowly transitioned over to harmony characters because they do so well, just kind of carrying like your current characters forward, no matter what they are. So they're great for the free to play options. So I picked up Tribute that way. And then that's kind of how things start up. And then, you know, Herta was crazy because I got her like really early on, and I even got her light cone and everything like that. So, but still, even with that, you kind of see the, hold on. You can see the stats. It's not like great. It could be so much better. Also, I've been farming like relics for so long, so it just feels like I've just been doing a lot of vertical like scaling for like that character and everything like that. So I've also just, because of that, I just found myself really unfocused. I mean, for a good while, so even now, like Rowan May is still not so fully built out, to be honest with you. Like, I look at the stats there, I'm like, I'm not really happy about that per se. And like, I think her speed can go up a little higher and everything like that. But part of me also wonders, like, is that just me being like super like critical about that? Because, you know, as I waste time on one character, I waste time, you know, spreading it out and, you know, really building characters for like stuff like MOC and stuff. Wait, do I have MOC? That is one of the examples out there, but you know, the Forgotten Hall is something that I have been putting off because it requires two like teams and different rotations based on if you want to use the weakness policy stuff. Like, have good, you know, characters that have a strong affinity towards fire, for example. I don't have one that's really consistent with that or deals enough damage, you know. It's weird. But then I realized, like, oh hey, maybe I don't need to adhere to that all the time. Maybe like the characters I have are strong enough, and lo and behold, they kind of are. So that is to say, I might be yapping for like quite a bit, relatively unfocused for what I actually really want to talk about, which was, and, you know, that might be on my my bad, Justin, in case we're keeping track of this at minute 10. Is it worth pulling the characters for the Fate Collab? Either one. I believe depending on like when you watch this, you probably have access to a free Archer or Gilgamesh. That's kind of tough. Because to be honest, you don't have to go for these characters, for sure. Liam's asking, hey Justin, are you streaming on YouTube right now? No, I'm also streaming on Twitch as well. We're multi-streaming on this one. So this is a tough call because characters will rotate in and out regardless of where you start. So, I mean, I'll be the first to say that I'm not an absolute expert, but I do understand that for free-to-play players or just people with just a sensible like amount of budgeting wouldn't want to spend a load of money, like a buttload of money for a certain like premium character. And characters will get like will roll out and roll in several times over. The craziest thing though that I've noticed is the fact that the Fate Collab that features Saber here, features Archer, and their light cones are the same one. It's the same banner that I saw them like, what was it? Somewhere in 2025, July 2025? They've been there since then. So essentially, even though like versions have like passed on already, you have access to these characters still to pull, and there isn't really a rush for them because available long term, I mean, has been tested now for over a year. So they might be here for the long run for a good amount of time. So depending on like when you watch something like this, you might still have access to them. And truth be told, I mean, Saber has like a good amount of characters for free to play. Obviously some premium here characters that would really benefit her, like Sunday, or Gilgamesh. But that's also really interesting too, because Gilgamesh is actually free for characters to claim. I got Gilgamesh that way, so he's just like a free like addition to like the team. When I was doing a little bit more research and actually legitimately taking note on what he does for his kit, it turns out like, yeah, he's, aside from just having like the follow-up joint attack with Saber, he just works really well as far as like buffing himself and Saber like in that team. So if you get Gilgamesh as your free character, then I would say that like, hey, if you are down for like the Fate Stay characters, then go for Saber in that case. If you get Archer, Reen's probably the best thing. Actually is the best thing for him. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty much geared so, you know, if you got one, you can summon another like that complements them. They even have joint like attacks that let you know that, hey, they're really good for each other, not just like canonically wise. Actually, you might want to just argue whether or not Saber and Gilgamesh like synergize like that. They are complete oppositions in the actual show. But yeah, I guess I would say yeah. But when I say that over like the next set of characters that they like show off here, like for example, right now it's Himiko Nova. She works really well with pretty much anybody who's a trailblazer or the companions. So I got Sunday, I got Dong Hung like PT, and you know they work incredibly well with Himiko. So much so that I just had to slap on like Spark onto that team and we're good to go. And she's doing some crazy stuff, but also Serval's like on this banner as well. I don't know how I feel about Moze yet. I need to actually use Moze. But you know, like in a vacuum, if you're not really like watching content creators, because content creators have to like, it's essentially that's their job to shill out for like all the new characters, because like, you know, they're the ones who do the coverage, and there's a benefit for them and their account to do that for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the game you can tackle was just games or characters that you just get for free, or just like as 4 stars in like these banners, or even in the standard banner way over here, which by the way I have 10 of those. Can I go ahead and pull that? Yeah, let me pull. Let me do that. I didn't actually pay attention. I think that's just standard. Okay. I don't know if I need another instance of her, but okay. It's tough to say, but I mean, there's certain things to keep in mind of. I think you are never in the wrong for just choosing a character that you just like. So for example, if you just like Sparksy, for example, here, it's like, oh, she's cool. She has like a cool outfit too. So it's like, yeah, let's just pull for her. And I think someone would say like, hey, listen, if you don't have any Elation character, then Sparksy doesn't have like the best optimal like kid. And you know, they're right, but also you could just play the game just fine like without, I'm sure. I mean, like hell, I pretty much had, what was it? I had, well, actually, wait, have I never got Shusha? Never? No way. I never had her? That's crazy. Anyway, my team pretty much primarily like comprised of Saber. You'll see her somewhere here. Felix, right? Yeah, or not Felix. Lynx. I get why I make the confusion. It was Saber, Ron May, Ting Yun, and Lynx. I forgot. Why did I forget her name immediately? And that's what I was running, and it was working just fine for like the main story stuff. But obviously, I needed to build another team, and I mean, it was tough. It was tough to really find out like what my next build up. But I think when I just stopped thinking about that, just logging in daily, you know, just claiming all the different, I was gonna say polychromes, but the Stellar Jades, sorry, different game, and just started pulling on banners. Like, I mean, a solid year later, all of a sudden I have all these different characters that just kind of work, and they're not like super optimally built. They're just kind of the best I can make them. Obviously, I still follow the guide based on like, oh, which collide cone could you use, you know, free to play wise, and you know, what do you got left? So, you know, it's not perfect, but you could definitely work with it. And I think people should just be made more aware of the fact that you won't have everybody or everything in your kit. So for example, I was trying to figure out what Gilgamesh could use because I didn't have I didn't have a lot of destruction light cones. Turns out this one works. But I would have liked his like signature. Would like his signature. I like the signature on everybody, to be honest. But you know, we figured this one out. It kind of works out, especially when it comes to like certain modes where like you're clearing through different like mobs and waves. Funny enough, I've been farming this like relic for a good while, so I just have stacks of these, and I was able to kind of like pick off some ones that just didn't really work out for, I guess, the Herda, for example, and just build off of him. And also this the 2-piece set over here. Turns out this also works well with Saber as well, even though the recommendations say that she is better off with, you know, this one instead. So definitely keep in mind of that, to always just research, you know, the different relic sets and just check in and see if the new updated ones just surpass old ones. Like I was looking at what Himiko Nova like uses as her recommended, which requires, you know, multiple like Trailblaze companions, and I was thinking like, could Sunday Dong Hung maybe make use of it? Maybe. I'm still kind of thinking about it. But Dong Hung makes use of this one like pretty well too. That set actually like increases like critical damage stuff, so that's kind of nice. Kind of like that. So yeah, definitely just do a lot as far as like research on that. But you know, to be honest, you know, as long as you like the characters, you can't really go wrong with that. So sorry, let me just go over here. So back to the characters at hand, because I kind of wanted to be a little bit more formulated in like how I wanted to talk about this. So with Saber, I could definitely vouch with the fact that if you have like a character like Ting Yun, for example, you're kind of like in the right direction. Just have like Ting Yun, a sustain, whether that be like preservation or abundance, and then maybe like either another support or a second DPS maybe, and you'll do okay. I think Asta would be pretty nice as well in that kit, so you can kind of work off of that. And then for Archer's like difficult because he saps away a lot, so you need a lot of like skill point like friendly characters that don't really need to use a lot of that. The problem is I think a lot of the free-to-plays don't really have like that many like cool abilities that let them just like be helpful here and there. I think a lot of recommended builds would have Archer's like stuff boosted, hence why there's like Sparkled. I think Sunday's also like a recommended there too. But you know, even though these guys are kind of a year old already, they still kick ass, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm always shocked by like how much damage, you know, Archer does because of all the like support he gets. It's crazy. I'm not sure if he gets like power crept later on, but to be honest, like to get power crept like that, I mean, when he does like so much and then some, like in like base game stuff and like some other modes here and there that I'll just kind of revisit, you know what, maybe it doesn't even matter how much he's getting power crept, unless it's a completely different like enemy with different like stuff to them that makes them impervious to certain like buffs here and there. Zenless Zone Zero is kind of like now become infamous on like just changing the mechanics like that, but I think these two are still very much so like useful in that regard. They still have like a use case. I do want to eventually get their light cones though. This Fate gift that they're providing for free, that is nice, but you have to do like 200 pulls. And I mean, I can't do that. Now, regarding Rin and Gilgamesh, I actually have done some relative, not even like deep research. I would say this is relatively surface level. I literally checked out the Catching Up with Star Rail YouTube channel, and not only that, I also consulted I think Game Aid just in case, just to see like what characters could like vibe with them too. I will say, I think by themselves, they could probably still do damage. But if you really want to just kind of like push them a little bit further out, they do help complement Saber and Archer more than they can just service themselves, even though you could totally do that, right? I think what trips up a lot of people is the fact that there's just so much like information being like fed into you when you're like checking out like stats and everything like that, and you're just researching a character. Because I kid you not, I was sitting down in that video watching Albert talk about these characters, talking about like the resources they use, you know, what do they do as passives, like the traces you unlock in order to like have certain buffs happen into play. And then whenever happens when they use like their ultimate or someone else has used their ultimate, it's like, slow down, please. What are you talking about? It's like, wait, hold on. Let me drink something real quick. But it is also it's very important to actually read up on like what they do, so you know exactly how to build them in a team. So if you don't mind, I actually had written down a couple things. They're quick summary stuff / like literally copy and paste based off of like the transcript from that video as well. So for Reen, for example, she uses like gem energy. That's her whole shtick. Whenever she enters battle, whenever people are like using and recovering their skill points, she just accumulates more and more gem energy. And once she hits a certain amount, or the skill points that she has accrued, like as a whole team, reaches a certain like threshold, she gets like an enhanced special, which is like, I guess in this case, like the triangle button. Sorry, I had to actually like relearn stuff here too. And then, you know, that helps to deal like more damage for sure. Let me see here. I might have to read this one verbatim. So, oops, sorry. Once gem energy hits a certain amount or skill points reach like a certain threshold, her skill gets enhanced. The more gem energy consumed in this case, the more times like she's dealing damage when she uses that special. Using this ability, if skill points have reached a certain number, excess skill points will be converted into gem energy and consumed. Okay. So essentially, what that pretty much tells you is that when she's out in the field, when people are using their skills, she'll eventually get like a buff to all that, and a lot of her damage output will come from like her enhanced skill. She also has a technique, and the techniques are the things that you use outside of battle. She gets like additional gem energy from that, and it allows her to just like tap into her enhanced skill like just right off the bat instead of having to accumulate that first in the battle. She has a couple of traces as well, which help out quite a bit. So one of the traces is like increasing her speed based on like for a number of turns after she's used like her like enhanced skill. So not only would it mean more damage, but she also gets to move faster. So it's like, okay, maybe you could increase your speed to a certain point, but you don't have to like really min-max that, you know what I mean? She has an ultimate that recovers skill points, and damage increases, or damage taken by all enemies increases for a set number of turns. This actually helps out the entire team. I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Another trace of her allows to recover gem energy after using your ultimate. So I mean, not that you would ever skip on an ultimate, but when you do, you benefit greatly, not just by increasing damage taken for a certain number of turns for everybody, but also just for her to get to recover more. What else do we have? Using ult, and then they talked about, and that's kind of, I was gonna say, that's kind of the extent of like her by herself, like in a team. But then it gets crazy when you add Archer into the mix. Hence why, like, I wouldn't recommend, like, it's hard to recommend like Rin and like Gilgamesh by themselves. But if you have Saber and Archer, like, and if you're like limited, just pick your favorites. But definitely they give them a huge buff if you do. So with Archer and Rin on the team, they have this joint attack, and that usually gets triggered after Archer uses his skill after a certain number of times. I think 5 arrows they shoots out, or you know, his skill points like reach a certain like level of like use, like maybe 2 of them are remaining. Rin will just like throw in another animation, and that becomes another joint attack. What does that do as well? Add another follow-up and she'll help recover more skill points. So I don't know if that means that it tags on another like instance of arrows, which is really good actually. She also has a trace called Elegant Conduct. Increases skill points made available. So once you max her out like on her traces, then she'll just add more skill points to the pool. And I mean, Sparkle already does that too, so like that could get insane. What else does it say? Rin's attack and quantum res pen also increases with that trace. If Archer's in the team, he also gains like attack quantum and res pen increase. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy that he gets that like passively. So that's to say, yeah, her and Archer would be a menace. I'm also like, I'm low-key thinking about actually like trying to pull for her like right now. I only have like 66, so I think I'd do better just trying to get the light cone for Gilgamesh than I would trying to get Rin, but like we'll see. I'm not too sure if I want to pull like right now personally, because I'm kind of like trying to check in and see about what's going on with the upcoming character and seeing if she's good on the Saber and Gilgamesh team. Speaking of Gilgamesh, actually, we can talk about that one. He's super interesting because he's got the resource interest. What happens is that he'll enter combat and he won't really, I mean, I'm using auto battle, so it might depend on you, but essentially he only will use his basic. He will only use basic up until a certain point, and then he gets a state called interest peaked. So his resource is interest, so he'll be accumulating that throughout the battle. How does it accumulate? It's when allies take action. That's when he gains like interest, and the more interest he gains, the more speed he also gets too, which is kind of crazy. At a certain threshold, he'll enter interest peak state, and in that state, he'll only use his skill. So that's pretty nice. His state lasts for the entire battle. That's crazy. So that means he'll just be launching like skills at that point. After using his skill, his interest is cleared. I think that means that it means essentially like his buff for speed like wipes out afterward, I think. So might be better if he doesn't like get a lot of speed early on or when you build him. He has a trace here, allows ally ultimates to help him gain interest. So if you have allies that just proc their ultimates like really quickly, so Saber procs that like super fast. Tribi also procs like hers super fast, so they're kind of ideal there too. I think also Dong Hung does too, so I've been using them, like those 3 specifically for him. He recovers a certain amount of energy. I guess when when enemies, or sorry, when allies use their ultimate. I wrote that down, but I just didn't quite catch that. Helps them reach his interest peak state where he only uses his skill. He gains Kin's acknowledgement, allowing him to ignore a certain amount of target's defense when dealing damage for a certain number of turns. We do like the ignoring defense bit there. He has his ultimate boosts in damage from a talent when... I'm sorry, what? His ultimate can be boosted in damage from a talent of his when other ally characters use their ultimate. Okay, yeah. So essentially, the more ultimates used, like, the bigger damage he does, like in his ultimate too. So it's kind of crazy. It lasts for a certain number of turns as well. He's got another trait that allows interest to increase his critical damage. That's crazy. There's an upper limit to that. I might have to like look into that a little bit more. And that's kind of the extent of like his kid as far as that. So obviously the main takeaway there is that he will be gaining a lot of interest. It's important to have characters that use a lot of their ultimate, so that helps out a lot. He doesn't really need to like be boosting his speed. He'll boost it himself. His traces like really help out with all that too. He's just crazy, brother. We should actually like run a couple things. I actually wanted to do some extra content just for the sake of like accruing more Stellar Jades actually. So we might just do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, the joint attack with Saber and Gil. So I noticed this one. This takes a while for me to build up though, but like after launching a certain number of attacks, Gil will add like a follow-up attack of his own with Saber. He gains a certain amount of interest while Saber regenerates energy, increases damage of her next ult. That's crazy. After using his ultimate, Gil stops all reactions. Oh yeah, this is outside things. So he'll just like freeze everybody in time. They can't react to like characters on screen. And when they're attacked, interest is gained. So all the more reason to use them there too. But these guys are kind of crazy, especially when you have Saber and Archer again on that team. So, but they otherwise have builds, and you can look it up online too, on how you can get Rin and Gilgamesh to run kind of solo. Like especially if you're brand new, and you're like, well, I don't know about Archer, but let's go with Gilgamesh. I will say, I got really lucky with Archer, just given the timeline on things. And I don't think it's something that a lot of people get. That's the type of luck. Maybe in a different way, but as far as like how I built up this team for Archer, it was just a matter of like luck and just precise like timing and thinking of things. So I typically run like Archer and Sparkle. Sparkle was actually provided for free. I don't think she's available for free, but it also came in tandem with her Nova. Is that what we call it? Well, or her enhancement. So that helps out a lot. So it's definitely these two against the world, pretty much. And I usually will tag on like Sunday, Tribby, or Dong Hong to that team just to like round it out. I think we could be a little bit better on figuring things out there. I think if anything, there should be a sustain for that team for sure. I'll have to do like a little bit more research there, but I feel like I got really lucky based on the timing of things, and I had to consider which characters were showing up on future banners that it would work specifically for my team. And I think that's a very important thing to take away. But if you don't really care about that, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can just like choose whoever. But I will say, Himiko Nova is like really tempting, considering the fact that like I already have two characters that can help her out like big time, just because they are part of the Trailblaze companion group. So that is to say, in short, these guys are here for a long time, seemingly. So there isn't a rush. But whether you choose to prioritize on them or maybe just, you know, wait for something here and see versus pulling these guys out, it's kind of up to you on that front. But, yeah, no. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I will say, guys are running out of time already. We're already running out of time. Because say, how am I gonna figure this out? Well, actually, I don't even need to do a lot on as far as movement. I did want to just do a couple things here. If anything, just to show off Gilgamesh for a bit. Even if he's kind of like built subpar. I forget. Well, over here. See, I'm already like trying to build Topaz on like a separate team, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Oh yeah, pure fiction is something. Yeah, I should also play through like the main quest line of things so I can unlock stuff. I just have been not doing Memories of Chaos, right? At least I'm just doing this. Oh yeah, this is actually his MOC. So yeah, I've been working towards this recently. For some reason, I just like left this out because I just never felt like I was confident with my teams. But yes, especially when you see this and you're like, oh shoot, I don't have a fire like character. Maybe I should build that up first. And it's like, no, not necessarily. If the synergy works, it works. In fact, I'm almost tempted just to see if this even could work out. Actually, hold on. No. Let me actually like rethink this real quick. I could just do the Herda here and maybe like throw in Sparkle right there. Just have nothing but supports. I don't even know if that works out that well. I don't know if I want to change out my Elation team. You know what? Let's just work with it.
Is that it? I was expecting something bigger. Strength in numbers! Watch this.
A day of peaceful
Take a look. This is pure genius in action.
And honestly, I could just run this like on auto as I drink my little tea. I will say, yeah, Herda could be built a little bit better.
Serenity is before me. Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
Expand your thinking. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Fighting the west wind. Away we go! Open sesame. Watch it crumble. Can you find the answer? Expand your thinking.
No. More people.
Torment and doubt farewell.
Open sesame. Feeling spiffy?
I just realized, actually, they do have a weakness towards ice. We didn't have to worry about it as much.
Serenity is before me.
Open sesame. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void.
So yeah, I might need to like build more on the relic sets there.
Plucking me? Hilarious.
Bring down the house.
A will of metal and stone.
All's revealed in divine.
Let's have some fun.
It is what it is on that one.
Baneful clouds scatter.
Mountains roar.
This was a crazy like team build up for the past like few months.
This is permanent.
Just going straight for Elation.
Some moves.
I wasn't even like thinking about it that much. Like Yao Guang was there and I was like, maybe. I mean, this is a brand new path, so it's got to be like really good.
To start.
But I was like, you know what? I know that Trailblazer's gonna show up, and at that point I knew about like, you know, his path for elation. So maybe we'll work with someone like I might see as like a little bit better. And that's why I saw like Silverwolf. I was like, oh shoot, wait a minute, this might work. And Yagwang showed up later on. I was like, yeah, let's just do it.
Observe the heavens with my
This is crazy though. Just like how quickly I was able, quote unquote quickly I was able to build up this team. Yeah, it worked out like that. So happy about that. Can I actually wrap up the whole like first part here? I guess so. Let's try it. Okay, here now we want to actually consider adding these two back in. Actually that works out perfectly well.
A day of peaceful. It's of no consequence. Wanted to doubt farewell. Watch over you, guide you on your path.
You can see his interest has peaked.
Serenity is before me.
I feel that swing. Away we go!
It's crazy because he doesn't have time to do his like cool like joint attack.
You fucking me? Hilarious.
Bring down the house.
I just have to like look over on this side saying
All's revealed in
who's available on my team roster right now.
Baneful cloud scatter.
And this one's honestly it's like, yeah,
Earth shatters, heaven trembles.
I'm pretty satisfied with like this team as well.
This is permanent.
Honestly, I'd stopped using my my Saber team for a while just because I've been focusing on building this one among a few. But all of a sudden Gilgamesh like changes the game. Now it's like, oh, okay, no, we can use him again.
All for the thrill. This next round, real gaming. Bonus round. Bonus round.
Oh, that did a lot for days. Oh my god.
Bonus round.
So as we're kind of like sitting down and just like watching this unfold, I gotta bring this up. This is crazy. Who's trying to cook over there? They got this Atelier Ryza AI chat,
Don't thank me.
AI based chat RPG, which even though it's like it's AI based in like the dialogue stuff, they're saying that nothing other than I guess like maybe some algorithm stuff as far as predicting like responses or questions, none of it is otherwise like using AI whatsoever. So it's like, okay, but why though? Why are we doing this? But they got the original Ryza character or voice actor to like do some stuff there. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It's like, what are we cooking over there? Shoot. This one might be a little tough for me to, well, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm just thinking like me, I could just like take these ones off and just like do that. I'm trying to be as lazy as possible about it.
Is that
Especially
it?
since I'm doing
I
this
was
like
expecting something-
back to back to back.
Day of peaceful
String number. Watch this. Take a look. This is pure genius in action.
I want this stop pretty soon though. I'm happy about the segments, but also at the same time, like, this is definitely eating up my time for stream. So I'll have to kind of gauge it. I just wish I had more time for like streams, you know?
Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Expand your thinking. Glimpse the unknown.
Okay, they're doing quite a bit of damage there.
Trial is fitting.
Feeling spiffy? Open sesame.
Serenity is before me.
Expand your thinking. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Watch it crumble. Like that, huh? Done playing pretty.
Oh no, it sparkles out.
My vow is broken.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I can really work with this now. Yeah, we're done. We're done. Maybe not challenge again. Okay. I'll have to, I gotta figure something out for that. I think we need Dong Hung over there. So... hold on. I think that could work. Yeah. We're gonna make it work. Let's just see. Let's just see if that makes a difference. If not, then we'll
Is that it?
we'll close regardless on this.
A will of metal and stone.
A day of peaceful.
Honestly, I haven't really been like thinking about like
Take a look.
the setup for the Herda in a while, so that might be like a weak point on my end. And I gotta make a better effort as to doing more research on the character builds. The problem is that there's just so much. There's so much text. Every character is like kind of built differently. They serve a different role. They have different traces and reaction stuff, especially as you go further into meta.
Expand your thinking.
So just a lot to keep in mind of.
Guide you on your path.
But some just function like very easily. Like Dong Hung and like Sunday here like
Nothing but a
serve a
void.
very particular purpose. And are pretty interchangeable like among different teams.
Glimpse the unknown.
But I think in the case of like Herda, I think she works really well with another erudition character. And I forget why. I think it's because the more damage you're dealing among like a group of characters, like the higher that counter is,
Serenity is before me.
which I hardly see these days.
Soaring above the lands. This is permanent.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Watch it crumble.
I just can't help but feel like I think Herda could do a little bit more damage. But I'm like, oh god, I need to like really get like the right boost for her though.
Feeling spiffy?
That's my issue.
Expand your thinking.
Soaring above the lands. This is permanent.
I have said that I wanted to get like Dong Hung's like
Open sesame.
but it's not really necessary since he's not the main attacker either.
Trial is fitting.
It just looked really good on paper though. I think that's why I'm like tackling like Zenless Zone Zero, like I will get the character and like their weapon,
Endless riddles.
and I won't try to like compromise on just one or the other. Like they have to come in a pair for me.
The unknown.
Serenity is before me. Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Also, this is taking a while, you know?
Endless riddles. nothing but a
This should do it. Yeah, okay. Sheesh. It took a little bit, but the slight adjustment worked.
You fucking me? Hilarious.
I was gonna say, I think I might have needed a sustain, but let's just hope for the best.
Let's have some fun.
Fateful cloud scatter.
Unlimited firepower.
Elation hilarious!
Best of luck. An explosive start.
All for the thrill.
10:08. Got it out.
This next round, real gaming.
Real with like blemishes and bumps on my arm. Like, oh no. It wasn't always like this.
Observe the heavens with my divinations.
I was gonna say, what? And I'm like, alright, she does like the follow-ups like
Don't
that.
thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Is Honkai.
That does so much damage.
Important.
Bonus round. Bonus round.
Trailblazer, yeah!
Cool. I was kind of nervous, but we kind of made it work. Oh shoot, we're so close. We're so close, brother. I kind of wanted to see like how well we do, but I'm kind of scared because we're now at the higher echelons here as far as like levels. So I'm not entirely sure how well everyone will like do. You know what I mean? I will say we'll just pull you guys out there. Pull on this team. I think we want to like take you out there. Yeah, and then we'll have to maybe just like throw in Sparkle instead. And then instead of Tribby, just get Dong Hung there. Yes.
You fucking me? Hilarious.
Let's rock!
A will of metal and
All's revealed in divine. Stars favor us.
earth shatters, heaven trembles.
Feels like that was a waste for
Resonate with me!
Silver Wolf, but it's okay.
Dragon rise! Soaring above the lands. This is permanent!
Unlimited firepower.
Elation hilarious!
Let's see, we're not doing a lot of damage here. Hold on, hold on.
An explosive start.
All martial arts are mine to command!
All for the thrill.
Where is it?
This next round, real gaming.
All eyes are on you!
This is Honkai.
Observe the heavens with my divinations. That omen. Don't thank me.
Bonus round.
Oh, here we go.
Bonus round.
Best of luck. An explosive start.
All martial arts are mine to command!
This is Honkai.
We're so close. Hold on. I was gonna say, get the meter down real quick.
Don't thank me.
Bonus round.
Best of luck. An explosive start.
All martial arts are mine to command!
All for the thrill. Let me teach you some moves.
Stars favor us.
Elation hilarious! All eyes are on you!
Wiped him out. This next round, real gaming. Bonus round.
Will this do it? Yes. Alright, moment of truth on this one.
Master, 万全の体制で臨みまし
Day of peaceful
ょう。Watch this.
風をくれてやる。
燃えたて、騎士の魂よ。Feeling spiffy? 前。
wanted to doubt farewell. I'll watch over you and guide you on your
I'm
path.
hoping that we can like survive a lot of hits here. We don't have a sustain. That's on me. We totally had one. I just chose not to bring them in.
Executing annihilation. Executing operation. Enema! Ace!
Can you find the answer?
経験解放。
Serenity is before me.
前。遅い。
Whoa.
ストライクエア。
Oh boy. Feel like. Oh, actually, no. That was it. That was the entire meter. Crazy. That was fast too. Oh. So we're at this point now. Clear stage 11 of Forgotten Hall to unlock Star Ward mode. Clearing stage 12 in Star Ward requires 3 challenging nodes. Oh, really? Clearing stage 12 with 3 stars and 33 or more cycles remain to obtain the prismatic star and additional new rewards. Accumulate 36 stars and the prismatic star to obtain this period's Forgotten Hall limited time character and clearance medal. Ooh. Okay, okay. You can switch back to regular mode at any time to challenge stage 12 of the regular Forgotten and obtain the original rewards. Okay, so if I do this, it's like, whoa. Okay, so this is just the regular, this is... Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, I just wanted to do this one first and see where we're at. Oh, Lord. I'm not sure if we'll do well on that one. Can we just... I was gonna say, can I just try it? I do... Probably should get a sustain going. But I'm low-key kind of curious as to whether or not I can just run it.
You fucking me? Hilarious.
All's revealed into
Bring down the house!
A will of metal and stone.
stars favor us.
Mountains roar, dragons rise, earth shatters, heaven trembles.
I was like, okay, we got shields, okay, thank you.
This is permanent! I knew I'd do better.
Let me teach you some moves.
Wow! Good.
Observe the heavens with my divinations. Best of luck. An explosive start.
Wiped him out. This next round, real gaming. Bonus round.
Let's go see. I'm looking over there.
Hilarious!
Gonna see that health has not gone down, not significantly. Oh, I'm kind of scared about this.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Have I made a mistake? I think if anything, it'll just like stall for time here. Also, wait, that guy's still around. I was only paying attention to the one on the right. On the good, some good news though, no one's dying.
An explosive start. It's Honkai. Bonus round.
Man, okay, there we go, there we go.
Bonus round. Don't thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Wiped him out.
You know, I probably should have used a quantum team here.
Limited firepower.
Nice, see, but it was like, I don't know. I should have used like the archer team on this one. I think I would have gotten a lot of mileage on it.
Real gaming. Bonus round.
Hold on,
Stars favor us.
I'm looking at like the health and it's like,
Elation hilarious!
oh, you know what? It's because the other ones.
Bonus round.
It's one of those things where like I need to really pay attention to like how we deal with like this enemy in particular.
An explosive start.
It's a shame that he's like further out there. We're doing hardly little damage though, but we're not dying, so I'm actually happy about that too. I just wish I had like more characters that could like do like the weakness stuff, because I think that would help big time.
Observe the heavens with my divinations. That only. Don't thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Wiped him out.
All eyes are on you!
All for the thrill. This next round, real gaming. Blessing in the sky. Bonus round.
Oh my god. I'm over here. Guys, please.
Best of luck.
I'm gonna say, should I just go ahead and
It's Honkai.
because this might take a while. Like a long while. I'm over here like,
Hilarious!
you think I should have, or can I just like go brush my teeth and everything?
above the lands. This is permanent.
Bonus round.
I think
Fateful cloud
low
scatter.
key, I think I want to do that right now. All right, guys,
That only. Don't thank me.
just chill out for a little bit. We'll just see where we're at right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush my teeth.
Bonus round.
Trailblazing, yeah! All eyes are on you!
Wiped him out.
Mountains move. Dragon, fly.
Observe the heavens with my divinations. Best of luck. An explosive start. All for the thrill. next round, real gaming. Bonus round.
Shadow, don't thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
This is Honkai.
Elation hilarious!
Earth shatters, heaven trembles! Soaring above the lands, this is permanent!
Bonus round.
Best of luck. An explosive start.
Feast your eyes.
All eyes are on you!
This is Honkai. Bonus round.
Trailblazer, yeah!
Mountains roar, dragons rise!
Baneful clouds scatter. Shadow, don't thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Wiped him out. Unlimited firepower.
Elation hilarious!
Observe the heavens with my divination. Best of luck. An explosive start.
All for the thrill. This next round, real gaming. Bonus round.
Shadow, don't thank me.
All martial arts are mine to command!
Feast your eyes.
All eyes are on you!
This is Honkai.
Soaring above the lands, this is permanent!
Bonus round.
Trailblazer, yeah!
Mountains roar, dragons rise!
Bonus round.
Okay, I'm back.
An
I totally
explosive
forgot
start.
that I still had some like tea left over.
Wiped him out.
Stars favor us.
Elation
Alright, we're good.
hilarious!
Earth shatters, heaven trembles!
Looks like we're almost done here too.
Firepower.
I was thinking about like doing the whole floss and like
Shadow,
rest of retainers and everything like that.
All martial arts are mine to command!
It's a lot of observing. We're observing a lot here.
Real gaming.
All eyes are on you!
Feast your eyes.
Please let this be it. No.
Above the lands, this is permanent!
Bonus round.
The problem is that this is also
observe the heavens
a test
with
of
my
time as
divination.
well, based on turn duration. If you guys have been seeing like the hints of like the prerequisites needed to get all 3 stars, so cool. Jesus, dude. All right.
手強い相手です。マスター、万全の体制で臨みましょう。
Now hold on. She's got a lot of weaknesses. Only a few of them I can work with here, though.
燃えたて、騎士。
風をくれて
Watch this.
A day of peaceful repose.
Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it. Already taking damage. That's great. Still taking damage. Oh, that's a lot. What are we doing? Oh, brother. Y'all gotta move right now. Damn, I should have went with the sustain after all.
Wanted to doubt farewell. Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Too much gonna puke.
Feeling spiffy?
Oh, cool. On the follow up. Thank you. I was gonna say, this is all. Oh no. Now we're done. We're done. Damn, they done me in just like that. Okay. That's rough. I don't think I can really like bounce back from that. Not in due time here. Well, I mean, we could try it again, but we're kind of running out of time. Let's just claim what we can claim. Damn. Damn. And they get the prismatic. Oh my god. They give you a lot. And I just been like slacking off on just getting these. But we do have 12 days to get it done, so I'm happy about that. With that, actually, we should have quite a lot to redeem. Well, I guess not. I think that only amounts to like 2 or 3. If we're just going purely off the exchanges. Although I always have this. I always just been saving that up for no reason. Oh, yeah, 3! Sheesh, dude. Costs a lot. So we're at 69. Ideally, what I like to be at is like 180. I know some people like would recommend like 160 or 160 or like 170. If we were going based off of like my luck from ZZZ, you guys didn't see that, but like from my experience there, yeah, no, I think I need 180, and that's just to get the character, not the weapon. It's crazy. But I also want to kind of hold off on like pulling on this banner because one, it's gonna still stay here, but then second, there's a character beyond the horizon that we are privy to know, but hasn't really gotten the drip marketing yet. That might do very well with the Saber team, Saber/Gilgamesh team. So I'm like, ooh, that would be great. And then we can go and try to pull Rin or something like that. I think if it comes down to it, I probably would just be like, yeah, let's go pull for Rin. Actually, you know what? I was saying that like, hey, I think one of my teams should have been the Archer team instead. Archer, Sparkle. That's all I really need. Yeah, Sustain would have been great. My problem is that the only reliable sustain that I have, aside from like a preservation Don Hung, is not unfortunate because she's actually pretty decent at her job. A lot of respects for her on that too, but it's Lynx. But Lynx is not fully built. The light cone's not all the way there. The traces aren't like completely done. And what? Okay, we can maybe we can actually look up like exactly Lynx's build and what she needs. here's the team plan. Here's team 1. You need Castress. Castress was actually one of the characters I wanted to pull for because she's the dragon lady. She's got that crazy dragon like underneath. It's like, whoa. But we do have Ron May on the team, but now we have Tribby. And then we do have Pela right there too. So it can kind of work. Damn, look at these recommended like team builds. Hey yo, you can have Dong Hung with Dong Hung in the very bottom there too. Oh, this could work too. I think this is one of the recommended teams I was thinking about. Since I have like multiple instances of Moe's So I was like, okay, what if we had Moze and Topaz? And that's our DPS squad with Tribby and then Gallagher, maybe, as a sustain. I guess I was gonna say, I guess they might be recommending these teams because like they're coming up soon-ish, I think. It'll be Serval and Herta as a team. I've seen that in discussions. Oh yeah, and also Blade as well on this team. But it's like, yeah, you know, you know. I don't even have Evernight in this one. Huh. So yeah, still working over there. But I mean, it's working out. I mean, hell, I mean, so far so good. I don't have all the modes yet unlocked, so there's just so much I'm missing out on. But I mean, hey, if you're able to do MOC, then it's like, okay, maybe there's hope. Maybe that is like, that's the hill I need to like get over. That's the hump I got to get over. You know what I mean? And then there's stuff with like pure fiction, which I'm not even like really familiar with at all. Let's see, some stuff about this, but I won't be able to actually access it until I clear through whatever this mission is. And then Apocalyptic Shadow. I guess I can early access though. Complete the mission, the Public Enemy. So, I mean, I could do that right now, but it's like, you kind of like, I'm not even sure if I should be doing like that mission right now. Anomaly Arbitration, clear memory. Oh, I have to. Oh, I didn't even know about this. Clear MOC stage 12 with 3 stars and historic records. I can kind of get there. But oh, I also need clear pure fiction. And also Apocalypse Shadow. Okay, I only got like one that I couldn't like aim for right now. So there's some really end game stuff that I'm not even like touching the surface. Aware of, yes. Actually there, no. Justin, do you play Pokemon Pokopia? The DLC just came out for it. Oh, you're right, it did just come out. Yeah, we should. Yeah, I guess that's another thing we'll be doing then. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Don't we have something else happening? I literally talked about it. No, I think that's for Scarlet and Violet. That's gonna be kind of tough, isn't it? It kind of depends. I don't think they would try to like eat up their demographic like that, but I mean, let me just double check the raid schedule. Oh yeah, so the 7th, so that's coming up very soon. But as far as the actual DLC, yeah, I guess we could do that. I mean, hell, we should probably just do that tomorrow or something. Because I had no idea what I was going to do for tomorrow, to be honest. It'd probably be like, oh, let's just jump into the backlog. And I got no problems with that, but also, why don't we be a little bit more productive, you know what I mean? I skipped a couple of those. So yeah, I guess we'll, how about that? How about we just jump into Pokopia tomorrow, instead of our usual schedule stream stuff. So yeah, we'll make that work. I will have to like pay up the $30. Oh no, twist my arm. I don't know, dude. DLC is starting to cost quite a bit. I mean, I guess it has been. Proof of concept. Sorry, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter coming out with those crazy content like title updates. They're pretty sizable. I mean, hey, listen, they're charging 30 or 40 bucks. It's like, okay. I'm not sure if we're going to be covering any Monster Hunter stuff though. But for what we were talking about, Pocopia, yeah, we should just do that. Yeah, we should just do that. Cause why not? Cause I love that game and I need an excuse to jump back in. Yeah. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna see if I can like get videos up and ready. I think I only really made enough for like 2 segments here, 2 videos. Fire Emblem and talking about the Fate Collab characters. So, all right, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this one. We'll be back at the usual schedule starting tomorrow. I'll see if I can do my best. I think primarily what we'll be doing is just covering like a good amount of like Pocopia stuff as far as like how to kind of get started with the DLC. I think it'll start with like the update learning how to use dive, but then Bubbly Basin is indeed like kind of like the extension beyond, because you have to also understand that like dive is actually a free content update thing, and then Bubbly Basin is like the actual expansion and like all the different like worlds and stuff like that, starting with 1. So, and they're spanning out all the way to 2027, so it's pretty ambitious so far. But yeah, all right, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess. So, all right, guys, take it easy, everybody, and #bye, everybody.